Security Secretary Mayorkas is cancelling more border wall contracts. Congressman Dan Crenshaw, Republican from Texas, joins me now to talk about this. Congressman, you say Mayorkas should be impeached over this move.
I do. Thanks for having me, first of all. Look, the title that Mayorkas holds is the Secretary of Homeland Security, which indicates and implies that his job is to protect the homeland. And yet every action that he takes is the exact opposite. So one of the main issues that the Department of Homeland Security has to deal with is, of course, border security. They're in charge of our Border Patrol. They're in charge of our customs. And every action that Mayorkas takes is meant to increase illegal immigration, okay? At the very least, you could call this a flagrant and probably deliberate dereliction of constitutional duty to enforce our laws. This recent example of canceling border wall contracts is a good example of that. So first of all, it wastes a lot of money because we've already spent a lot of money on these contracts. Second of all, it makes it yet again more difficult for Border Patrol to enforce our laws, because what border walls do is they create choke points. They allow Border Patrol to use their resources in other locations. But see, that's not all. Mayorkas has also deliberately refused to reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy, which was one of our best tools to disincentivizing these sort of false claims of asylum that we're seeing come across the border. Not only that, but they are not enforcing Title 42, which is those COVID protocols. So saying that, look, during a pandemic, we do not have to be taking people across our border. We can immediately deport them. But they're refusing to even do that. They're allowing hundreds of thousands of people in. They won't give us the exact numbers for that. These people are not showing up for their court dates. They're not showing up for their asylum claims because they're not real asylum claims, and we all know that. So it's an unmitigated disaster. Yeah. And by the way, they canceled those border wall contracts in places like Rio Grande Valley, which has seen 500,000 crossings just this year.
Well, and I want to get to this issue, Congressman. Vice President Harris skipped a border security meeting in Mexico City. Instead, she pushed Biden's agenda during a New Jersey trip. She's supposed to be the border czar. So why wasn't she at the meetings?
Because she doesn't care about border security. She doesn't care about illegal immigration. They want this to happen. I mean, I hope nobody else is pretending otherwise. We shouldn't pretend like this is incompetence. And they'll throw out some really weird reasons as to why these illegal immigration surges have increased so much. They'll say, well, at first it was Trump's fault. And then, well, then there was a hurricane. And, well, then, you know, people are sad, or civil war, or somebody, or a president got killed. They make up reason after reason after reason. Oh, it's seasonal surge. I mean, they're full of it. The truth is they want more of this. They listen to these immigration activist groups that help people kind of disappear into society. They work with governors from places like California and New York so that there is no federal law enforcement there whatsoever. They won't cooperate with federal officials. They do this on purpose, right? And then on the back end, they implement, or they want to implement, legislation that would give everybody amnesty. So what they actually believe is that there's a voter bloc coming here. Remember, they actually took a strong stand against Cubans coming across. Remember that? Why? Because Cubans tend to vote Republican. So this is very political for them.
I just want to get this issue in before we run out of time. You say parents should keep protesting critical race theory in the classroom, that the Justice Department can't do anything about it. They're just trying to intimidate parents. Explain.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Keep doing what you're doing. Look, the DOJ sent out this awful letter saying they're going to work with local law enforcement and look into these claims of domestic terrorism. Now, this came from this absurd letter from the National School Board Association that claimed that this was akin to domestic terrorism, and here are some examples. They're writing letters calling us Marxists. I mean, these are literally some of the examples, okay? They're being mean to us. They're yelling at us. They're disrupting the meetings. These are public meetings, and this is a democracy. So, yes, you can do that. And no, that's not domestic terrorism. And this is absurd. And the Democrats in Congress, in the media, they claim that there's no CRT, right? They claim that these parents are just being misled by some right-wing Facebook post, but that is so not true. These parents are seeing the curriculum that their kids are learning. They see that it's infused with the teachings of CRT under the guise of these nice-sounding things like diversity and inclusion, but it's teaching racism. It's teaching kids to hate each other, and it's wrong, and parents, keep it up.
Congressman Dan Crenshaw of Texas, great stuff as always. Thank you so much for being with us today. We do appreciate it.